remaining 2.5 minutes. I wasn't far out there. It's going to be 2 minutes and 23 seconds as Schumacher crosses the line then. Jury Vips looking pretty lively on Robert Schwartzman as well. So Schwartzman could be under threat for that P3 place. Who's that diving up the inside there? Great move executed there through turn number 1, but here is Schumacher leading the race then, and Robert Schwartzman now on the outside of Marcus Armstrong as they head into the Ramus turn. So this will play into the hands of the likes of Vips and Aberdeen behind, because they will be slowed relatively. And Ralph Aron and Sacha Fenestraz there. Fenestraz on the outside of Ralph Aron. Can Dan Ticktum take advantage of this? Certainly, Gian Daravala is looking all over the back of the Ferdinand Habsburg car as Robert Schwartzman does put himself into that P2 position. So, following the safety car then, all sorts of battles now going on, and Robert Schwartzman defending for all he's worth. And trying to maintain his quest to get that P2 place, but is just denied by Marcus Armstrong. And Jury Vips always running right there, not for the first time. Sacha Fenestraz, Dan Ticktum should be able to get past the all-yellow car. Not quite, he's on the outside now. So the number 11 car now under threat from Dan Ticktum. So following that safety car intervention, it's really livened up this race now, because all of a sudden, with the race being neutralised, there's lots of people with lots of opportunities to try and make passes. The one that is escaping up the road, of course, is Mick Schumacher. He's 8/10 ahead of Marcus Armstrong. Armstrong having to defend from Robert Schwartzman. And Vips is not quite close enough to Schwartzman to have a go for that P3 place. And the top 4 breaking away just a little bit from the P5 driver, which is Ralph Aron now. Schwartzman again taking a look at Marcus Armstrong. Ralph Aron a big winner there as they go 3 abreast now. Gian Daravala, Dan Ticktum, Sacha Fenestraz, all side by side. And Fenestraz goes off. Gian Daravala goes off as well. So, as they were 3 abreast, there was a touch between all 3 of them, and it's disaster for all 3 of them. They've all picked up damage in the closing stages of this race. Well, and there you can see just how angry they are on the pit wall. Safety car is called for with just 2 laps remaining. And, well, it was close, it was tight, and they were all fighting, and then there was the inevitable touch. You can see how cross Dan Ticktum is. Gian Daravala is about to get out of the car as well. And big damage to the number 11 car of Sacha Fenestraz. So Ticktum does pick up his steering wheel and will return it to the car. Gian Daravala having trouble getting his back onto the steering column, so the race is inevitably going to finish behind the safety car now. So Daravala is out of the car, Ticktum is out of the car. When last we looked, Sacha Fenestraz was still in the car. And they walk away then, and in the closing stages of the race, with just a couple of laps left to be done, all fighting over those positions. And there is Fenestraz jumping into that rescue car there. And behind the safety car then, that's how the race will finish, unfortunately, because the Fenestraz car. Let's take a look at it again. So Ticktum here on the inside of Fenestraz, but Fenestraz gets something of a slingshot off the Ramus turn. That brings him back into contention. In the meantime, Daravala put himself on the inside. So that's why the cars were running 3 abreast as they headed down towards turn number 4. This is how close they were. Daravala at one point, as you could see there, was on the grass. Then there was a touch between Ticktum and Fenestraz. The pirouettes of Fenestraz. To be fair, Ralph Aron, there we can see it again. Ralph Aron absolutely did not touch anybody. It was Ticktum and Fenestraz that came together. And you can see it here from this angle. I mean, from the first angle that we looked at, it looked like Daravala had a touch, but I don't think he did. And then in avoidance, does nothing but clatters into the barriers. So, of course, that's all going to be investigated. But there you can see Ticktum and Daravala laughing about it now. They certainly weren't laughing about it when they jumped out of the cars. And it's valuable points for Dan Ticktum that have gone away now. So the safety car is leading the cars through turn number 9 now and heading towards turn number 10. And the checkered flag is out for Schumacher to take the win. Not the way he would have wanted to win the race, but in fairness, you wouldn't have expected him to have lost the race in any event. To be fair, it looked like it was going his way, but right in the closing stages of that race, that 3 abreast move between the Remus and Roush turn, then was what called for the safety car to be deployed yet again for the 3rd time in this race. But Mick Schumacher now makes it 5 wins in a row. So Dan Ticktum and Gian Daravala continue talking. And I have to say, having looked at the replays that we looked at, I don't think Daravala actually touched. So Schumacher then taking his car back to the pit lane. And there is Marcus Armstrong finishing the race in P2. Jonathan Aberdeen finished the race P6 in the end, so 1 place better than his achievement yesterday as we look at the Gian Daravala car and in person.